Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
Let's ditch the content marketing panic that doesn't produce results and do this instead. And in this podcast, we're going to be talking about how you can literally start creating intentional content. And if you have been an internet explorer, that explains people that follow this podcast, you would understand that Prosper Taravinga, who's your host right now, absolutely loves giving value. The reason why that is because I viscerally believe that we get paid in direct proportion to the value that we bring to the marketplace. And it actually self-guides you and makes you become a thought leader within your space if you can actually give value and content out there which makes your prospects' life better. Right. Now, we all understand that people come to the internet to get information, and if they are getting that information, then it's easy for them to get to know us, like us, and trust us. And I'm working with a lot of small to medium businesses, and the moment I just mentioned the word CONTENT, you thought I was going to spell something different, right? Dirty brain you. When I'm talking to business owners about their content, I hear this a lot. Oh, I don't know what to write about. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to begin and all that stuff. I think it's simply because a lot of people haven't quite identified their target market. They haven't quite clarified their message. And they are just afraid they can be rejected simply because it takes a redemptive amount of work in order for you to crack into the marketplace. And that's not anyone's fault. It's just the way it's set up. Because if it was easy, let me hear that again. If it was easy, there you go. All right. So I want you to indulge me a little bit. I'm going to go through a few of the pains that some of my coaches and consultants that I end up helping actually come to me with. And some of these things are usually spoken about, and they are outright because it keeps them up at night, okay? And that's the reason why I show up with this podcast every single day, because there's so much that needs to be addressed. And you will learn from what I'm about to say how it's super easy for you to start creating for and relating to the audience you're going to be demanding money off of. Tell me something. Does this sound like your business right now? Do you spend maybe most of your days working isolated by yourself, maybe on a computer in a dark room? Or are you the only one who knows what you're doing within your business, and so that means you're working late, maybe on a Sunday night when everybody else is taking it easy? Does this sound like you? Or do you find yourself maybe having to check your email more than 20 times a day? Or do you feel constantly maybe tethered to your phone like it's an electronic leash? Or is your calendar fully booked some days, or you spend maybe the last moments on your pillow at night wondering how you will get results for your clients or get the clients in the first place? Or do you sometimes feel like maybe working for yourself means that you've got 100 different bosses and every client that's paying you represents a boss in this instance? Or do you have to end up in maybe client underlying relationships where you are the underling? And does maybe more clients mean you've got a lot more to do? Or do you feel the pinch of maybe raising ad costs? Or do you worry about the next ad account being shut down? Or do you worry about the next Google update? Or do you worry about clients leaving you because they don't get what it is that you're actually delivering to them? Do you find yourself having to make yet another sales call? Or do you have to write yet another proposal, yet another cold call, or yet another cold email to a potential client only to have them disappear later? Or do you have to chase potential clients asking them if they've read your proposal yet? Hey, about that proposal, have you clicked anything or opened it? Or do they just ghost you without being honest about whether they're in or out? Do you sometimes ever lose your maybe consulting, training information to a competitor who maybe is not going to deliver the best results? Or do your prospects go with somebody else just because they were cheaper? Do you maybe have constant meeting requests from your clients, that you already have because they still want to ask why they're paying you an invoice? Or do they ask you to explain the same thing that you've explained 100 times? Or do you ever have to have a client who speaks to you like in a condescending tone as if they own you? Or do you retain clients for 12 months or less, and even if you're doing a good job, they just don't stick? Do you have these problems within your business? Or do you find, yourself drowning in yet another course or yet another software or tool that you have to learn, and you have to Google everything for about 3 hours? Or do you have to stare at a screen trying to find that unknown error in 100 minuscule lines of code? Or are you up to your neck in the latest project management software that your clients want to use and you have to engage with it? Or maybe this is what a lot of people are going through, especially coaches and consultants. You've got clients who expect miracles overnight. Or do your clients really fully understand what you're doing for them or why you're doing it? Or do you have some clients who frankly don't pay you or pay you well or on time? Or are they often waiting for responses from your clients to get things done? We get that a lot when we're doing websites for people that don't really want to be in business. Or maybe do you need to do 100 things first before you can actually enjoy a week away? Or do you still have to get clients' messages while you're away as well and cut short your holidays just simply because they need you? Or do you know that if you took maybe 2 months off, you wouldn't have a business to come back to? Or are you always looking for constant and free or cheap leads? Yeah? Do you maybe as a coach or consultant get fired if you do the job too well? Or you're the first one to get blamed when there aren't enough results within the business? Do you feel like sometimes you have to take any client just so you can manage your cash flow situation? And do you sometimes have to take the next client with a credit card and a pulse only to regret it later? Just because maybe you feel like you need their money. Do you ever find yourself in a lame-ass conference, networking, or something, doing the dog and pony show to people that don't even care about your existence? And then do you have a calendar that's filled with the monotony of sales calls and people that are not even going to buy from you anyway? Or do you have like 90 things, that are all happening at the same time, all 90% finished? Or maybe you've got clients who've got broken systems, they've got, broken relationships, they've got broken lives, and they're bringing all their clumsiness onto you, and you don't even know, where to start or finish with them, and maybe they're not the right kind of client that you want to work with. The last one, right? I know I've been giving you a lot of stuff that is making your blood boil right now, because maybe you're going through 9 or 4 or 3 of all the things that I've just mentioned. The last thing I want to ask you is, do you constantly feel like you're explaining the same things over and over and over again? Or is yet another client shocked when they get a bill from you and they are not getting the results that they think they're getting? Let me tell you something. It is a thankless job being a coach and a consultant. And am I right, or am I offline here? What if it was all different? What if it didn't have to be like that? What if there was a better and easier way? What if you could actually have the benefits of having a monthly recurring cash flow and it didn't even require you to do any of the things that I mentioned? What if you had an actual time and freedom at the same time? Because some people don't even have that. What if you didn't have to check your phone or email for days or even weeks at a time? Just like me, I don't have Facebook, I don't have LinkedIn, I don't need to check nothing. What if you didn't have to have any meetings at all with all these people that don't even convert anyway? What if every client you spoke to, was already pre-sold before they even got on the phone with you? And what if whatever sales call you're going to have with them is just a 3-minute formality where you're just processing their credit card, and getting to know them and put face to credit card number together? What if you didn't have to put your entire financial livelihood in the hands of some Google ads that you're hoping is going to convert? Let me tell you something, my friend. You should start creating intentional content, because if you've got really good content, you can leverage that and you will be in a position to actually name your price. You can work whenever you feel like, and you don't have to keep repeating yourself simply because you've created the content and people have a reference point. They already know you, they already like you, and they already trust you. Case in point, you're listening to me right now, and I probably did this podcast 3 days ago, 2 days ago, a year ago, depending on when you're listening to it. I did it once, created the value. Now we're here. You tell me, is this not working? All right. So for myself, despite being awesome at what I do, I pride myself with the work that I do. And if one day we get to meet, you will basically feel the energy in everything that I speak and how I present myself, because I bought into what I'm doing first before I tried to sell it to anybody else. And besides being the best at what I do and becoming better and better every single day, I still put out content. I still educate my audience. I still engage with them so that they get to know that they're getting the real deal. And I'm just imploring you to do the same, my friend. Because if you heard from the start of the podcast what I was talking about, that's exactly what my clients come to me with. And I bet you are also experiencing either 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of the things that I mentioned there. So like I said, besides being a professional in what I do, I'm always producing content, and I completely understand the feeling that a lot of people don't understand or don't quite know what it is that they should be posting out there. Because sometimes, as a coach or consultant, you're so mad down with the day-to-day tasks of running your business. And, just to even think about the different processes that you have in place, or maybe the philosophies that apply to your work, obviously for you, they come naturally, but to your clients, they don't. Did you hear how I was literally telling you about your life in the first section of this podcast? Because I know, and I'm always studying my audience. I'm always trying to clarify my message so that it matches what my audience is going through, and that's what makes content out there. Do you know what I mean? However, all these amazing insights don't come naturally to everybody else. So just like you didn't know, I know you to the bone, what it is that you're going through right now. You know why? Because I've been through that, and I'm working super hard in order for me not to go through that ever again. And I'm just happening to help other people in the process. And that's exactly why all the things that you know, all the things that you've been through are so valuable. That's what you get paid for. You don't get paid for, crunching numbers. You don't get paid for delivering a loan. You don't get paid for being a coach, or you don't get paid for, helping people with their relationship. You get paid for who you are. If you're going to make somebody else's life better, then you, my friend, will have a seat at the table of those people that have businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. So the one thing that I want you to understand moving forward is your life story, your experience, everything you've been through, everything you've learned have so much value to a person who's going through that stuff right now. So we get paid in direct proportion to how we make other people's lives better. And if we can create the content so we can document the process, people will triple, stumble, and fall trying to beat a path to your door. Well, that being said, I hear you say, oh, okay, so where do I get started? What? It's like you are at the crossroads for thinking, okay, I've got so much to offer, but I don't know where to start. Well, let me tell you, my friend, my Internet Explorer friend, you got two options. Okay, creating and promoting content that's valuable is a given, or creating and promoting content that's just mediocre out there, which is what everybody else is doing. And it seems like a no-brainer, you'd want to create and promote valuable content, right? But surprisingly, this is not the path that a lot of, coaches and consultants take. You know why? Because it's easy to just do the mundane. It's easy to just do the mediocre. All right? Because if you just show up with whatever piece of content that you think is going to, make a difference to people, creating and promoting fluff pieces is easy. That's why even each episode comes packing. If this is the first time you're listening to this episode, you would literally get to know, like, and trust me immediately. And I do that intentionally. You know why? Because you never know when somebody catches up with you on their journey. So a lot of people are just creating, run-of-the-mill, pieces of content out there, especially financial people that just get their content from one content disseminating place, and then they just maybe put their own logo in there and then, pass it on as if it's their own. That's the sad, harsh reality that's out there. Let me tell you something, man. Creating content that is maybe self-promotional, or maybe third-party publishing articles, or external links to fluffy pieces, or worse, what they call, what is it that they call clickbait? Things that are just, easy for people to click but have got no value in it. It's not hard to do. And honestly, it's not always easy, to tell that you're putting content out there in the world and that, that content is garbage. You know why? Because people are not responding to it. It feels so good to be, top of your content marketing plan, to have an editorial calendar and to be scheduling your social media posts that, you think you're doing well. But if you're receiving no feedback and no engagement, that should be telling you something, that maybe your posts are not resonating. All right? So at the end of the day, try to make sure that you are literally helping your clients by actually helping them, okay? And have content that can be timely, and also content that can be evergreen, so that whenever somebody starts their journey with you, they can just start off from anywhere and still get the value that they're supposed to be getting. You see, I help coaches and consultants and, other professionals with their content marketing, okay? What we do is we find, we find all the information that our clients are going through, and we try and help them with resources that they actually need in order for them to be able to tell their story, so that they can communicate value with, to their potential clients. And we just put marketing strategies that help them convert, clients based on the content that they're putting out there. All right. So how do you avoid just putting out mediocre content that out there? Let me tell you something. When you're in doubt, always return to this, mindset. Ask yourself, is this piece of content that I'm putting out into the world going to reflect my values as a business owner? And is it going to bring legitimate value to my audience? If you can't use it yourself, do not post it. Is it helpful? Is it kind? Is it actually giving value? Does it reflect who I want to be known as in the future? You know why? The internet doesn't forget. So if you put out mediocrity today and expect to be a thought leader tomorrow, that's not how you do it. So if the piece of content that you're putting out there is not reflecting on your values, and the answer is no, that is giving value to your audience, or even if the answer is maybe, I want you to walk away and refocus. It might be tempting for you to just, spray and pray with your content out there just for the sake of publishing. That's the reason why you get stuck on your table and not having people respond to you, because you are not connecting with the audience or the people that you're going to be demanding money off of. I mean, after all, stats and statistics show that the more regular that you update your social profiles, or maybe post on your blog and maybe interact and you're sharing different posts and comments, you name it, it drives traffic up. And who doesn't want more traffic? So the key takeaway is that you create and promote content that, that if you're doing that and it doesn't reflect what you think, how you feel, or the values you believe in, you are straying yourself from your true self. And your audience is not dumb. They're clued on. They're also reading from other people in your industry. All right? They'll see that you're not being genuine in what you're putting out there, and you then drive them away. Why would they, waste time on content that is not benefiting them? And worse yet, you start maybe, attracting a following that doesn't value what you do. And that's the reason why you get people that are constantly, talking to you in a condescending manner, like I mentioned earlier on. Or maybe people who don't value who you are or what your business is all about. And they won't see the value that you're providing, and there won't be an interactive tribe. So we have to constantly be begging people to buy from us. I want you to be putting out content that helps you generate hundreds of qualified high-ticket leads like clockwork, so you never have to rely on cold calling or emailing just to beg clients, to hire you. I can understand, and I know you're telling me in your ears right now, under your breath, you're grunting and saying, growing a business is tough. Because as an entrepreneur, marketing or creating content is just one tiny aspect of running a successful business. You go from hiring money and managing new staff, balancing books, driving growth, and a lot more. And it feels like a constant balancing act where you're pulled in multiple different directions all at once. And now you're telling me to create content again? Come on, man. At the end of the day, I understand your real goal is just to help your clients, right? You want to spend as much time as possible, maybe changing people's lives and solving people's problems. And you don't want to waste countless hours each week trying to navigate this whole world of content marketing. But if you do it nicely and do it good, let me tell you something, you will be able to drive more traffic to your site, and that traffic will never cease. Doesn't that kind of defeat, doesn't that kind of, be the thing that you actually want? So, like I'm saying here, instead of getting wrapped up in the idea of content marketing, I want you to slow down and start getting intentional with every piece of content that you're putting out there. All right? Every podcast that I put out there is answering a real and genuine real life question from a customer or a client that I would have spoken to, and then it just happens to be content for me. So in a lot of ways, this may be the most maybe relaxing piece of advice that you ever receive in the subject of content marketing. Slow down. Don't just put content out there for content's sake. All right? You have to be intentional. If you have to create content that when it's not there, people will miss it. When it's not there, will question, wait a minute, isn't there supposed to be a podcast today? Isn't there supposed to be a blog post today? All right. And it's when you get wound up about maybe posting 6 times a day, having multiple accounts with multiple posting and scheduling programs, and maybe writing a blog post a day, that you're most likely to stray from your original purpose. You start losing your value. You start losing the audience that you're trying to connect with, because half of the time, maybe the stuff that you're putting out there is just fluff. So when you feel yourself panicking, or you're worried that, it's just too much to do, and you need to maybe, constantly be on top of your social media, stop. I'm giving you permission to chill. I'm giving you permission to stop. Because that's a surefire sign that you need to back away and reassess, the actual reason why you're putting content out there in the first place. I mean, if you're a business owner, I know your first priority is your clients, right? You want to make sure that your clients get value and everything else that comes along with it. You want to see them succeed, you want to see them thrive, and you want them to improve as a direct result of working with you. Isn't that why we do what we do? Now, I want you to ask yourself right now, what kind of content is going to help me achieve that original goal? What content will help me help my clients, or literally help them by actually helping them? And the answer will probably vary depending on the type of clients that you're working with. You know, what struggles they're facing and what information they actually value and what stage they are in the buying cycle. However, I can tell you one thing for certain. Fluff pieces, clickbait is not adding value to people's lives. And so it's not adding value to your business either. Whatever content you need to be putting out there, imagine you're building a wall. Each piece of content is a brick that you're going to be putting one upon the other. Okay? So why would you continue investing time and energy into something that isn't adding value to your business? I mean, we don't have that many hours in a day. I don't know, maybe you do. So that's the reason why the topic of this podcast is to deal with intentional content. And the good news is that intentional content actually makes your life easier. The more you put out value out there, the more it is reciprocated with real monetary value. And when you eliminate the rush and pressure surrounding the do more and be everywhere mentality that surrounds the coaching and consulting industry, you're left with just you and your valuable insights and your ideas without having to scrap the barrel of having to keep up with, all those platforms. Look at this. Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, they are all content platforms, but they create none of that content themselves. They just let people do the creation. All right? I want you to draw a line in the sand. This is where garbage ends. No more putting out garbage content out there. We're now going in with intentional content creation. And if it means you have to scale back to maybe blogging once a week or a few times a month, so be it. If it means you only have to post on your social media profiles when you find an article, an idea, or a quote, you genuinely can connect with it, that's fine. Your audience is going to appreciate value than you just spraying and praying to them. And there's no hard and fast rule that says that you need to abide by an intense posting schedule. Right now, if you're posting more than 4 times a day, 3 of those posts are rubbish. And, you don't need to publish on your blog daily to drive traffic. I mean, obviously, yes, having a big following is awesome. But I'm a believer that tracking valuable engagement means, way more to the success of your business than just growing your following number alone. I used to have a lot of followers, but you can't take followers to the bank. I mean, as soon as you become intentional about your content, you actually start to see more interaction. People start resonating with the content that you're putting out there because people only listen and follow and take advice from marketing that speaks to them. But if you're spraying and praying, you're not being intentional. And you start to see more engagement. You'll find that your following isn't just skimming through your blog posts. They're actually listening. Like you're listening. It's 27 minutes into the podcast right now, and you are listening. You're there, and I thank you for that. And this is when you need to make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out on, information like this. When people are actually engaged in the work that you're putting out there, it connects you and your business, and it actually helps them, find the information that they need. And then they'll continue to return to you, and they're more likely to work with you, and they're definitely more likely to spread the word. You know why? Because you've given them ammunition. You've given them a reason to tell other people about what it is that you're putting out there. Now, doesn't that sound awesome? It's kind of a dream. A lot of people wish they could do this consistently, but it's super easy. I know I've got it done. I've got it made. And I know you've got it in you to make it happen. So here's my message to you, my Internet Explorer. Let's ditch the content marketing panic that doesn't produce results. Instead, let's get intentional. All right. I mean, as a founder of a digital marketing agency, I have built strategies for coaches and consultants to actually master their marketing, because I firmly believe that we are each changing the world one life at a time. So together with my clients and my team, I will help you develop and implement unique content marketing plans that actually connect and convert. Why don't you jump on our website and see what it is that we can help you in order for you to create marketing that resonates, so that you can stop spraying and praying with your marketing and you become intentional, so that you don't have to constantly feel like you're explaining the same things over and over to your clients who don't seem to be appreciating you. I can't wait to read your latest blog that is actually intentional. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au